Okay, I don't go live very often, but you better believe when I do, it's because I have something worthwhile to share. Okay, so what I want to talk about today is not just surviving the weekend, but actually thriving on the weekend. And I'm not going to give you any tips where I'm like, okay, just avoid all of the treats and sugar. Don't have that glass of wine. Don't have any fun. I'm actually going to talk to you about how you can live your life and still thrive on the weekend. So I have 4 tips for you, ways that I have found. So for here for us in Canada, this is like our first long weekend of the summer. That's relative because everybody's weather is extremely different right now. We've got some warm weather, I will say that, but of course thunderstorms and some places there's still snow. So the official kickoff of summer, we've got going on, right? So it's a long weekend. So that means a holiday Monday. And I find for a lot of the people that I work with, weekends are where everything falls apart. They're like, I rock it Monday to Friday about 3 p.m. Is that you? Like, can you relate to that? Because I have for sure been there. So I want to talk about these 4 things that I think if you keep them, at the top of your mind and you actually implement them, you'll be like, well, dang, I had like all the fun I wanted to have. I didn't limit myself or restrict myself really in any way. But these things, adding these things into my life and into my mindset helped a ton. And you're going to go into Tuesday. And instead of being like, oh my gosh, I have so much regret that long weekend. Oh my gosh. You're going to be like, I nailed it. Okay. So my number one tip when it comes to any weekend, but especially a long weekend, is plan your surprises. I know you're probably thinking, if they're a surprise, how are we supposed to plan them? Well, I gave the example in our virtual fit club of we have baseball on the weekend. We have both boys in baseball, and it goes from early in the morning until after lunch. My youngest and myself are notorious for being hangry. Okay, so things are not pretty when we are hangry. Which means when we get finished baseball and it's past lunch, I would like to say I had like a picnic lunch and healthy snacks. The snacks I can usually cover, but having a picnic lunch or like some kind of lunch and bringing it with me when we leave the house at like 8 in the morning, it's probably not going to happen. So I'm not even going to pretend that that's going to happen. But there's 2 things that I can do that I think will help me. One is, because the option is we're all hangry and we're right near all of the takeout restaurants and we're very likely to just go through a drive-through. And which drive-through are we going to go through? Probably the one where it's fast and fried. Okay. So this is the first thing that I can do is I know, all right, I can either have something in my fridge for when we get home that I can just toss in the microwave and reheat. So I'm not like feeling like I need to grab something in the drive-through because it's going to be another half hour by the time I make the food and all that. Or if I know we are going to grab some takeout, I can plan ahead. What are some healthy options that we can grab? I think of places like Freshie where I could grab like a Buddha bowl, or Pita Pit, or even Wendy's where I could grab a salad where I can actually get some vegetables, so that instead of having more processed food that usually makes me grumpy and like tired the rest of the day, I can actually have something that's going to energize me for the rest of the day. So it's not coming unwound there and, have the drive-through and then all of a sudden it's dinner and it's like, well, the day's already ruined. I might as well restart tomorrow. No, I'm actually going to get ahead of this surprise of being hungry when we're done baseball. Okay. So that's an example. So look at those things in your schedule on your weekend and be like, okay, yeah, like I know we have sports, or yeah, I know we're going camping, or yeah, I know we're, having dinner at such and such's house. So what can I do to kind of prepare ahead of time so that I'm not caught off guard and feeling like I'm always on the defense? I'm going to be on the offense this time. Okay. So that's number 1. Number 2 is BYOV. Bring your own vegetables. All right. It seems like everything I've ever gone to, any kind of event, they're never short on like carbs, lots of carbs, desserts, things like chips and, even alcohol and those sorts of things. But something that is not always readily available or I can't take for granted is that there's going to be vegetables. I know for me, I feel better if I eat vegetables. I know for me, I feel more full and satisfied if I eat vegetables. I know for me, my digestion is way better when I eat vegetables. So I'm going to be the person who's known for bringing the vegetables to the party or the event or whatever I'm going to. That does not mean you have to create some crazy Pinterest-worthy veggie dish. No, that could be as simple as you're the one bringing a couple of bagged salads, honestly, or a veggie tray that's pre-made. That's okay, all right? Don't get yourself all wound up about how it has to look or be a certain way. Just be the one who brings the veggies, and then when you're eating your meals, you're like, oh, I know that I can have, half my plate filled with veggies. There we go, winning, right? The third one is play a drinking game. So this is not alcohol I'm talking about, but actually water. My sister and I lovingly refer to our water bottles as emotional support water bottles because we take them everywhere with us. But that was not always the case for me. Actually, I used to kind of like laugh at people that did that, but I was living like chronically dehydrated, which meant I had more headaches. I had more joint pain. I had a lot more cravings too, right? And I was always feeling like I was hungry when I was actually probably thirsty. So that's why I make sure I bring my water bottle with me. But here's the game that you can play if you struggle getting enough water in. I used to kind of, say like, you should have this many ounces or whatever. But like, honestly, when you're busy, who is thinking about how many ounces they're drinking? You're thinking about how many water bottles you drink or how many sips you're taking potentially, right? So this game is when you wake up in the morning or any time that you're going to have a drink of water, you're going to get your drink of water and you are going to count to 10 while you are drinking. All right. So you're getting lots of water in, lots of water. And before you eat, you're going to be doing that, counting to 10. If you feel like you're having, your energy's low, do that. Drink, count to 10. After you work out, drink, count to 10. You will get so much water in and you won't have to, it's not a whole lot of extra thinking. It's just kind of your habit stacking. Okay. So something that you're already doing, you're just pairing with drinking some water. So you feel better and you're not feeling like you're craving stuff all the time and you're not dehydrated, especially as we get into warmer weather. Okay. The last one is, and this kind of fits with it because you'll be like, oh my gosh, I'm going to the bathroom more than I've ever gone before. That's awesome because that's going to get you moving your body more and you're going to be getting more steps in. Because number 4 for me is just move your body any way you can on the weekend. All right. I do still like to do workouts and I've talked about this before, but like I used to think people who would work out on vacation, I was like, what's their deal? Like they can't even take a break from their workouts. Like what's going on? Me not realizing, hey, they're not just working out because they want to be skinny and fit. They're working out because maybe this is a huge stress reliever for them. Maybe this is something that energizes them, which is what I learned after time of moving my body. Hey, it does those things for me too. And so I got into the mindset of I'm only going to work out when I want to feel great, which, spoiler alert, that's every day. Okay. So no, I'm not doing an intense workout every day, but I'm trying to move my body every single day. Going for a walk, doing some yoga, doing maybe a HIIT workout or lifting weights, those kinds of things. That's the stuff that I like to do. Going for a bike ride. So here's the other thing too. If you're like, well, I don't really want to do a formal workout on the weekend. That's okay. If you're at a pool party, instead of sitting beside the pool, jump in the pool, play, swim a little. If you're at the beach, instead of just sitting on the beach, toss a football, toss a frisbee, get in the water, be moving, walk the beach, hop on your bike, whatever. Just find ways to get yourself moving. Pull some weeds. I know I need to do that in my garden too. Like there's lots of ways that you can keep your body moving. And if you do that, you're going to feel more energized throughout the weekend. And believe it or not, energy creates energy. So when we are tired, my instinct is like, you need a nap. But really, my body, well, you should get the ample amount of sleep, but my body also responds well to, hey, let's get up, let's get moving, let's get some fresh air, let's move our legs and let's get out there and like do some things. And then all of a sudden I'm like, oh, I feel great. And I can take on the world. Okay. So those are my 4 tips for not just surviving, but thriving this weekend and any long weekend throughout the summer, really anytime. I hope you found them helpful. Let me know if you did, or if you have any tips to add, drop them in the comments. I can't wait to hear. Take care.